If I'm the Browns and I'm seeing this going on, I'm going to have to pull the plug on the Shedeur Sanders.
No.
He should be cut immediately.
Rob Parker wants the Browns to cut Shedeur Sanders. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
To early Tuesday morning at 12:24 a.m. to be exact, my guy Shedeur was cited for driving 101 miles per hour in a black Dodge pickup truck through the streets of Ohio.
Bad look.
41 miles per hour above the speed limit.
Wow.
He's either got to pay himself a fine or he's going to have to fight this in court like the rest of us minions.
All right. I have a serious announcement that I need to make. And this is serious.
Okay.
I love Ben and his wife, Erin.
Thank you for that confession, Rob. We appreciate it.
If I'm the Browns and I'm seeing this going on, I'm going to have to pull the plug on the Shedeur Sanders.
No.
He should be cut immediately.
I don't think you cut Shedeur Sanders over the speeding ticket. LeBron had the same thing, but, LeBron, he was the chosen one. He was the guy in the NBA, especially in the first year or two when that incident happened with Shedeur Sanders. You don't really have any NFL traction. A lot of people, they hating on you because of Dillon and the way that you are. You came in the league all jewelried out. You had all the money. So, of course, with your demeanor and with your pops, he's not really liked amongst, NFL owners and just GMs. I guess they feel a certain way about him. But at the end of the day, you don't cut Shedeur Sanders over the speeding incident. Now, he got to be careful because not everybody that drives 100+ miles per hour on a 60 is going to be able to make it out alive, or you may even take a life. So hopefully this is a learning lesson for him. Yeah, people naturally speed, but you're usually on a turnpike or a highway. I don't know where he was at, but he got to be more careful only because you don't want to take a life, take your own life, and then at the end of the day, you're going to ruin your NFL career. Shedeur, man, be careful out there. You're already not liked within, NFL front offices as far as you and your pops, so you don't want to do anything to jeopardize that. So got to be careful, young man.
Backup quarterbacks, fifth-round picks should be seen, not cited. It's the worst thing you can do. That's not that. Do you know what I mean?
No argument there.
I know. Obviously, I'm playing about being cut,
right.
but that is not what you want, because once you become a distraction and you start doing stuff, that's when it's easier for people to say, "Do we really want this? This is not." Came to Cleveland. People make mistakes. I'm not saying he's got to be perfect, but this is not what you want.
Yeah, that is true. He makes a good point. If you're the 5th round pick, 144th pick, you don't want to be within that situation to where you're being seen outside of the NFL, but not on the NFL field. So he's really saying you have no room for error, even though you're the son of Deion and, people don't like you. You're still going to get an opportunity, but most 5th round picks, if they had a situation like this, they're not really, up there within the organization as far as potentially being a starter. They're most likely going to be cut or you'll never hear from them. So if you're Shedeur Sanders, you got to move like you're the 5th round, 144th pick, only because you don't want any situation to kind of take away what you're trying to do in the NFL. You're trying to become a starter. You're trying to become a viable quarterback for the next 8 to 10 years, hopefully. So you don't need any situations off the field that's going to ruin your chances of playing on the field.
You could avoid this. You don't need to be driving. You could have a driver. I mean, you can talk about all kinds of stuff.
Got to move smart.
Don't make yourself a distraction when you're not in the plans for an organization. And that's
exactly
all I'm saying. I think it's just a bad look.
I just think you don't have the built-in equity to do this. Lamar Jackson, not that he would or should, but if he were to get, speed, and we haven't heard much about Lamar getting in trouble, and if for one time he got, he got caught going 41 miles over the speed limit, the Ravens would say, hey, this is our guy. He's been a model citizen. Something happened. And we'd all go, all right, hey, people make mistakes. No big deal. It's Lamar.
That's why they put erasers on pencils.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if this was Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, those, mainstream top-tier quarterbacks, this may make the news headlines, may make a 5 or 10 segment on ESPN First Take, but it's not going to really go anywhere. It's not going to move the needle within the media, only because they built up a lot of equity. They're big-time quarterbacks. If you're Shedeur, again, you got to act according to your draft pick. If you're the 144th pick, you can't take no L's outside the field. So, yeah, other quarterbacks, not really a huge story. It may flash on the screen, but as long as no one, passed away or nothing crazy happened, it's just going to be a drop in the bucket. It's really not going to make anything happen within the media to where they're going to cover it if you're one of the top tier quarterbacks. But with Shedeur Sanders, everything that you do is going to be covered. And if you're driving 100 plus miles per hour on a 60, of course it's going to make mainstream news, especially with your draft position. So, hey, bro, you got to build up before you start making mistakes in the NFL.
And when you're fighting for your playing career life, you're trying to make a team, this is something you don't need. And let me add to this, Rob. When you're coming in already, the more so than your play was the noise and the things surrounding you, right? Because anytime you and I've had an expert on and something, they all say, look, we know the tape said he was a second round pick. What is the next person? Oh, the tape says he's a second pick. First round pick. Everyone agrees on that. The
Except
issue
for
was
the people who actually
and
made
that's
the
what we
pick.
hear. His bad interviewing. He thought he was too arrogant. He took it lightly.
He didn't do his
So
homework.
he didn't do his homework. So that's some of the reporting that was out there. My point is, you can't have these type of issues when that's what's coming in. Is the noise, it's the outside stuff. Because we already know, for the most part, the football stuff's going to be there. And I think he's going to ultimately end up being the most talented player on the quarterback roster. Whatever they decide to do, we'll have to wait and see. But you can't have this. Now, again,
again, it may end up being, a thing to where, he's able to learn and move past it. And ultimately, he's probably the most talented in that QB room right now, especially with Deshaun Watson being out for the remainder of the season, at least a majority of it. So at the end of the day, everything's in line for him to potentially be a starter in the next year or so. But if you keep having these boneheaded mistakes and these incidents, the Browns are going to be like, you know what, you're cool, but we don't need to really put up with this. You're not really up in the ladder as far as being a starting QB this season. So can we possibly trade you? Let another team deal with you? We don't want this headache. It's one thing we got to deal with the fame. Then we got to deal with, the Dion, all his fans, and just him making statements in the media. We don't really want to deal with this. So if you're Shedeur, don't just, start flexing now because you're in the NFL and you're putting together some good summer practices. You still got to move accordingly if you want to have a career in the NFL.
all got a speeding ticket. Is it the worst thing ever? No. But you can't do this when you don't have equity built with the team. And that's a lesson everybody should know, whatever your job is. If you're the new person and you're trying to climb up this ladder and they can potentially see you as expendable, you can't come in with any drama and with any issues, especially when there was concern about outside drama and issues. So I think you'll be fine. I don't think it's the worst thing. I think they'll talk to him. I think they'll actually mention kind of what you said there. Hey, man, we got drivers. We got people. Just, work with us. If you need something, call us. Slow down. But at the end, the last thing he needed was drama around his name when he's trying to finally separate himself from that and make it just about the football.
Right, because it's not now. And you got another story, and now it's got to be in the news. What he's going to do. Is he going to fight it?
Is he taking it serious? Is he growing up enough?
You know what I mean?
It's just stuff
Exactly.
he didn't need.
It's a storyline and headlines that are going to be out there.
Yeah, unnecessary story. Don't want this. Now you got Henry Ruggs. He's starting to try and apologizing to the family. So if you're Shedeur Sanders, I don't think he was, intoxicated, because that would have been a whole different situation. But you don't want to take a life. You don't want to take your own life trying to speed and be cool in your new car, wherever he got, convertibles, who knows, Lambos, whatever the young people are driving with money. That's probably what he had, testing the speed out. But if you're Shedeur, you got to be able to read the room. Everything trending right now with the young man, Henry Ruggs, what he did to the person in that other vehicle where that person is no longer here. So you got to be mindful of that, man. You got to know, like, okay, that should be a wake-up call. Let me chill out. Instead of going 100, let me go 80. Let me go 70. Let me flex, or let me go on a track. You're Shedeur Sanders. You can rent out a whole entire track and go as fast as you want in a safe, controlled environment. You don't got to do that on the streets because, again, people are looking for stories for Shedeur. The NFL season's gearing up. They're trying to ramp up. The media's getting ready to cover the NFL from September all the way into the Super Bowl. So why not get some early stories? He's already a walking story, being the son of Dion and how he came into the NFL and the whole draft situation. Now you're giving more people ammo to talk bad about you and for you to potentially lose your job in the NFL. So again, Shedeur, be careful out there, because your NFL career could be over sooner than later.